Okay. I was just making sure.
Usually the way that you want to do it. So let me give you the game. Usually the way that you want to do it is obviously she want to sign the paperwork, but then she can come back and say, "Well, I didn't sign it or whatever." So usually what you want to do is you want to get them on camera signing the paperwork.
Oh, okay.
It seems like an extra step, right? You actually like it's a statement that you say when you record, and then you say, "Hey, do you agree to this?" Blah 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 blah, and they say yes, and then you record them signing the paperwork, and they actually have to have a license out there when they're doing it. Also, that's
Sometimes
really
it's just a paper that you sign. I went to an NFL players party and we all had to sign NDAs and put our phone in a it was like a device where it locks your phone and you have to on your way out like you scan it to get your phone
When
like
you
you're getting like a code.
when you left in the morning, was it somebody there to get your phone to you or something like that? The
I don't
next
know.
morning?
Ask your woman.
No, I'm just asking a simple question.
I mean, think about it from a job, right? A lot of times we give out bids. Let's just say, for example, I work for a company, right? And in corporate America, we may take different bids for people to develop a design that we have for a new product that we want to release. In order for them to do their due diligence, we have to bring them in for them to see stuff that they then can't use or capitalize off of or communicate about or talk about to anybody else. And so we have ironclad NDAs in order for them to even be able to come in and do their due diligence before they bid on a job. It's the same way when it comes to business and a person and operating in certain spaces. You have to make sure that you take care of things from a business perspective in order to protect yourself, protect your brand, and protect you against the people and the future opportunities that they may see as a come up as a result of it. You don't know who you're going to be, right? Right now, you may be a millionaire. 20 years from now, you can be a billionaire. And then somebody trying to come up off of you. No, it can be anything. So you make sure that you protect yourself. You got to look at every situation and every interaction from a business perspective.
And when it comes to the type of women, going back to Lady Shan, we have to sleep with particular type of women. So we ain't got to worry about no issues. Just like I said, if she starts wilding out or whatever, because that can potentially embarrass us. So the Pookies and the Ray Rays, they can sleep with so many different women. We actually can't. Not saying that we want to, but our choice of women is a little different than Pookie because he can sleep with whoever because he ain't nobody. You feel me? So I can't just be running around sleeping with random chicks or whatever, because the thing about it is, like, in it, NDA or not, like, it's still a risk, you know? Like, as I ascend and as any of us ascend, you got to think about the past bodies that you have that might just start coming out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You end up being on a talk show or whatever for like 2 years. Do you know how many people or your exes are going to start trying to come out and say, well, I did this, I did that? Don't nobody want to deal with that. So yeah, we have NDAs, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't the relationship stuff, is the, you know, when you bust a chick down or whatever. But the bottom line is, we men at a certain caliber, we ain't bragging about sleeping with nobody. We don't want nobody to know. It's the opposite.
So if you were just a regular guy, right? Just a regular average earning guy, you're not trying to elevate, you just settling into your position. Would you sleep with any woman at that point? Because you're saying you're trying to make, you're going to elevate in money. So your status is going to increase.
My pool of women would be a little different because I'm just a dude that has a job. And like I said this a while ago, the average dude that works at UPS or whatever, the farthest he's gonna go, unless he literally pivots his whole life, is a manager or something. That's not really a brand. He's just a manager. Even if he gets into the, whatever, he's still a manager or something. His name isn't out there. There's no, no noteworthiness of being a manager of UPS or whatever. He's just going to make more money. But when it comes to notoriety and you on social media or whatever, whether it's jobs or whether it's women, you got to make sure you handle yourself in a certain type of way out here, because it can affect your brand. The dude that work at UPS doesn't have a brand. So yeah,
what I'm saying though, wait, hold on.
Say something about this whole topic, because I feel like we're at this age, like we're not relatable to this topic. This topic is for people who are in college or high school or whatever.
Broke people,
where-
dumb people.
Whatever.
It's not.
I'm just
It's
saying
not.
that, like,
How
for us to
how
sit here
old
and
were
talk
you when you
about-
went to the
for us
NFL
to
party?
sit
one at
here
a
and
time,
talk
one at a
about
time.
brands and all of this other stuff and protecting each other, like we're adults. So nobody's going around bragging about who they're sleeping with because we're all adults, right? So this conversation, what he's asking, the original question, it does happen. There are men who claim women who they haven't even slept with just to look cool in front of a group of men because this woman is the most desired on campus and he probably hung out with her one time in a dorm room and now he's claiming her body as if that's true. I've seen that happen on college campuses where men are going around claiming
Know
to
what,
hit
she
a girl
right.
that they ain't never hit. And then
That do
vice
happen in
versa,
school.
women have done it to men. Oh, I slept with him, or his dick, his trash, and blah 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 blah. Like that. Those conversations happen with youthful young people who are just still trying to find their way in the world. This conversation is just not relatable to us.
Yeah, but the problem with it is that, again, it's not relatable until you get Me Too'd. It's not relatable until, because again, we live in a completely different world and a completely different society. And instead of people being proactive, they're only worried about whether or not they're going to get the pussy right then and there, and they're not trying to mess up the vibe or the mood, and they're going to fumble the bag, or they're going to fumble the opportunity later in life. And right now, Mike Tyson is being sued by a woman that said that he did something to her 30 years ago because there's no statute of limitations on civil lawsuits. And so she coming back 30 years talking about he did something to me in a limo. You know what I'm saying? And so, again, I believe in being proactive. I don't believe in being Me Too'd. I think that people should be a lot more careful with having dick discipline and moving in a way in which they protect themselves. And you don't have to be famous. Like, you ain't got to necessarily do an NDA, but yo, from the minute that you walk into the studio to the time that you leave, the cameras is on. The security cameras is on. The regular cameras is on. And if at any point you want to come through and say, yo, I did this or this played out or however it's going to play out, we know you lying. We know you lying. And all of this stuff is uploaded into the cloud and it's stored in there forever. And we never gonna find it. So I think that even regular guys need to take heed to what's happening, because the only thing that they see is what's publicized. They don't see a bunch of guys that's getting out of prison a day for being accused of something that they didn't do. It's guys getting released every single day from the Innocence Project that was accused of things that they didn't do. And just because it's not publicized, we don't talk about it or we can't relate to it because it's not pertaining to a celebrity. But people need to be a little bit more careful on the type of women that they're moving around, and you can't fully vet a woman. And so you need to start using technology in order to protect yourself.